Welcome to the 3rd Gen Workshop, everyone. If you like our videos, please take a minute and hit that subscribe button. In today's video in the trailer project series, we are installing a 30-watt solar panel so we can charge and maintain our battery when shore power is not available. There's a few things to note with solar power and charging a battery. First, this particular video, we're covering a single battery, not multiple batteries that are either in line for 36 volts or in parallel for 12 volt, for continuous, larger runtime. So this is specifically for a single battery on a trailer. My battery powers my winch and some lights and a few other things. There are some things with solar panels you have to be aware of. Now, the one that you see here is a 30-watt solar panel. They make smaller versions of this, 15 and 20 watts, and they make much larger, 50, 70, 100, and so on. It's important that you understand what wattage you need for the intent that you are using solar panels for. In my case, a single battery solar panel, I need a 30-watt solar panel to provide continuous charging. If you go lower than 30 watt on a standard AGM battery, a 15 or 20 watt panel will provide you minimal charging, but it's really more for battery maintenance, to keep the battery trickle charged, to cycle it so it can maintain the charging level that you left it in. In order to charge the battery beyond just maintaining it, you need something bigger. I went with a 30-watt panel because I didn't want this massive 50-watt panel that's significantly bigger. It's pretty much twice the size of the panel that you see in this video. So the 30-watt panel is what I'm going with. I spoke to the manufacturer. I was originally intending to mount this to my trailer box, which you'll see later in the video. To physically mount it and then just use the adjustment screws to lay it down when I was traveling, and then adjust and tilt it back up when it was stored. They don't recommend doing that. Now there are some ways that you can do that if you choose to operate that mount. You can use some U-channel or square steel. You can reinforce whatever device that you are connecting your solar panel to. If you do that, you should also get some U-channel steel and reinforce the insides of your solar panel track, because this is very flexible aluminum, and it won't withstand traveling down the road at 70 miles an hour. So you'd have to reinforce this as well as provide some reinforcement on the structure that you're going to mount this to. So I am not going to do that. Instead, what I've decided to do is I have bought 6 of these, and these are rare earth magnets. They're in a pattern in here. There's 6 magnets to each one of these, and I'm going to, on the mounting hardware, mount 3 to each of these. So this will provide solid magnetic connection to my trailer box once this is installed, but it will also allow me to roll the magnet off and disassemble the solar panel from the box when it's stored. Now, for what I'm going to do, there are some things that the kit did not come with that I'm going to need. So let's talk about first what does come with the kit. The panel, the instructions, the line off the kit. It comes with a switch for your charger. This will come from your solar panel. This will go to your battery, and then it comes with a secondary output for a light if you want to have a light. This would be the wire that comes with the kit to plug into the light, that you could then run to a switch to turn it on and off. The kit also comes with these for your battery, but I don't want these these clips. I want O-rings. So, and then it comes with the hardware to mount. Now, in addition to buying the 6 magnets and the hardware that came with it, I also have purchased an extension line. This is a SAE to O-ring. So when I come off of my switch, I can go to my battery, and I already have the O-ring terminals on, so I can plug them right in. And we'll go over that in a little bit. And then the other thing that I purchased is I purchased a switch. The reason this is important for my particular build is I'm going to come from the solar panel into the off side of the switch, and then from the on side of the switch into the controller. The reason is I want to be able to disconnect the solar panel from the unit and store it when I'm traveling. The other reason for the switch is if I am somewhere where the panel is connected and I need to hook up to shore power for a faster charge with my battery charger, I can flip this to off, plug in, and then only one source of charging is coming into my battery. So, you know, on-off switch makes it very handy. If you're going to utilize the light, you can buy a second one of these and wire a second switch to your light. All of the pieces that I've purchased here, the panel, the cord to switch, the magnets, I will put links to all of the pieces that I bought off of Amazon. Now that we have all the components, we're going to go out to the trailer and start the install. All right, the installation kit, as mentioned before, comes with these brackets and screws. My battery died when I was putting this together, so I'm going to walk you through what I did. The first thing you do is you install this bracket. You use the M6 12mm in length bolts. You'll put a bolt, a washer, and then a washer, and then a nylon lock nut. What I did was I used this channel, and I have the bolt as far back on the channel as possible on both sides. That way I'm the same distance on both sides. Go ahead and tighten these down. It's 10mm on top and bottom. Once you have completed that, you install the second part with the bracket being on the inside. On the back, you install the second set of bolts, which is an M6 16mm. You use the lock washer, a washer, and then the nylon nut on this side. And on the front, you use the same bolt, lock nut, washer, and then wing nut. I put mine 4 up for the angle. And then the other thing that I did was I used the back hole, single hole, for the first magnet. Based on where it's set on my deck, I used the second slot all the way forward for the second magnet, and then the third magnet is on the middle slot all the way at the end. So they're pretty well spaced out. The other thing I did is I went ahead and used some of these 3M zip tie tabs, put them on the back of the panel to lock in my wire, so all the excess wire is you know, out of the way. Now with these earth magnets, I can put this on top of my deck here, and it's not going to go anywhere. I may get a piece of aluminum from Home Depot and run you know, one across here and here just to add some strength to that, but that'll be a later modification outside of today if I do that. Now we get this thing situated right where I want it. And now we can put the rest of the wiring together. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to install the controller and the switch somewhere right in here. This will allow us to keep everything behind the tongue, so it's protected from the elements coming from the truck. These are waterproof items anyway, and it'll provide us a little bit of a rain protection from coming on the top. So we're going to mount these things up right here. Just remember, we're going to run the solar panel into the off position, the left side, and then we're going to run the switch into the controller for the solar panel. That will allow us to control the flow of power, and then we're going to go to the battery. Okay, switch is installed, controller's installed. Now we're going to go from the switch, the on, to the solar panel in on the controller. And then we're going to go from the solar panel to the on switch here. That. And because we're going to take this off when we're not using it, we're going to put one of these caps on. Normally these get put on before you crimp and wire these down, but because I bought these pre-built, zip tie, hold it on, and that way when we take this off, we can cap this and protect it when we're traveling. So we're going to do the same thing on this light circuit. Because we're not going to use it, we're going to cap it for future use. See? That protects the terminal while we're not using it. And we'll add a cap to both of these in case we ever need to unplug everything. And then a cap here. last thing to do is to attach our positive and ground to the battery. I have these extra terminals on here, so we're going to wire them right directly to these terminals, and then we will route this down and up and secure it to the back of the box. Now we can put our battery cover back on. Now we just have to hook up the charger to the battery line in, and then we'll zip tie everything down, and we are ready for power. Now when I turn this power button on, power should be flowing to the battery at this point. It's hard to see in the sunlight, but the light is on. So we're going to zip tie everything down and then call it a day. Now everything's tied down and secure. We have power going to the battery. Now the other two things that for me I'm not using is this extra extension, which is for the light. I capped it because I'm not powering anything with it. And then I'm not using the battery chargers with the clamps. I went with the O-rings instead. So these are spares. Just going to throw them in my toolbox in case I ever need them. With that though, we are fully installed and ready to go. Just as a reminder for those that watched the other video when we installed the shore power, the reason this switch is here so I can shut it off when I hook in to shore power. But this allows me to charge my battery when shore power is not available. Thanks for watching the 3rd Gen Workshop, everyone. If you like these videos, please hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for upcoming content.